Today we have the pleasure of chatting with Adam Zara, Executive Director of Panoram Italia, the most widely read Italian-Canadian magazine. Adam, you're based in Quebec, in Montreal. Can you tell us something about the situation among the Italian Canadians there?
Well, the situation in Montreal, although there have been more cases than the rest of Canada per capita, I mean, all things considered, we're staying at home, we're respecting the rules, and we're trying to take this time, just like anywhere else, to appreciate what we have around us, family, our health, and we're looking to come out of this just like anyone else, right? It's a tough situation, especially for businesses, and with regards to the health crisis in old folks' homes and healthcare centers. Our hearts go out with them. On a personal basis, we're trying to mitigate this. Um, in the publishing industry, it hasn't been easy, just like a lot of other industries.
Adam, we all know that Italian Canadians in Montreal have a particular vibe, and we understand that there's bars handing out espressos and cappuccino from the windows.
Well, the Italian Canadian community in Montreal, just as in Toronto, we're certainly well integrated, and we're dealing with how we know how to, right? The Italian Canadian communities is resilient. Italians are resilient. The human species is resilient, and then we find that we're trying to make lemonade out of lemons. We're trying to make the best of the situation, and slowly we're seeing that the grocery stores are still open and still serving their customers. The cafes are opening up their windows and serving coffee and espresso and cappuccino from the windows. And just yesterday I was driving down Park Avenue, not far from Little Italy, and cafe was open. Said, let me pull over, see what's up, and friendly neighborhood barista hands you the espresso. Everyone's 6 feet apart, and you go on your merry way. It's a cliche, but it's a new normal. That's what it is, and we're trying to adapt in any way we can.
Adam, I understand that Panoram Italia is not in distribution right now, but you guys are very busy with the next issue.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, we went through a major change actually that we decided on in the second half of 2019, where we decided it was time to rethink the magazine and refocus it. We decided that we were going to redesign print in a higher quality way and give a higher quality presentation in terms of the binding. And we were also going to, distribute to Greater Canada. So we weren't going to stay hyper local in Montreal, hyper local in Toronto. We consolidated the magazine and made it one national magazine. So we actually launched that in March, because it was, we're doing 4 issues a year with every season. And so the launch date was slated for mid-March, which is exactly when the pandemic hit. So we still obviously mailed that out to thousands of Italian Canadians across Canada with great reception. And that's it. The way we adapted primarily is, we're staying in touch with everyone by email. We have an e-newsletter that goes out every couple of weeks. We're quite active on social media, and the other thing is that of course our June issue, our summer issue that was supposed to, that's coming out in a month. For ages we were preparing it, and we had gotten all the content together to talk about Euro 2020. We were so excited about that, as I'm sure TLN was, and TLN viewers. And of course, we had to completely overhaul our content in order to, talk about this current situation. We decided to delve deep into the community and interview certain actors and highlight beautiful stories from Italy and here. And that's what we're going to be presenting in the next issue that's coming out in June.
Speaking of which, of course, we can wait to have the next issue and to read it. But what can you tell us in advance? What kind of subjects and stories we're gonna see?
Well, like I said, I mean, we wanted to, not, as opposed to the everyday news cycle that's, a little bit more doom and gloom, because you have to present the reality of the situation, which is not a pretty reality. We decide, since we come out 4 times a year and we can't be so timely, because yesterday's news is just basically we can't present day-to-day facts a month from now, and it can't be relevant at that point. So we decided to put a positive spin. We're highlighting and celebrating the beautiful stories of the community, and also we take what happened in Italy and we put our spin on it. We're a print magazine, and we have to lay out stories in a beautiful manner. So we're taking beautiful imagery, beautiful melancholic imagery from Italy, presenting it to our readership. We from coast to coast, we gather the most noteworthy stories of frontline healthcare workers. We have stories of restaurateurs that are struggling, that have pivoted and sort of adapted to the current situation. We have a story of barbers. Barbers. What do barbers do during this pandemic, right? So we have a gentleman that is doing Zoom meetings with his clients and coaching them through cutting their own hair. So a lot of things like that. Some recipes as well that we hope people will appreciate. People appreciated receiving the magazine while on lockdown because it's kind of it's a welcome distraction from everyday life. People sit down with their morning coffee, or in the middle of the afternoon, kick back, put their phone aside, and flip through the magazine. So it's something we're reluctantly looking forward to, is putting out this magazine about the pandemic, and hopefully there won't be another one like that in the near future or distant future.
Of course, Adam, in a time like this, we're all particularly proud and take great pride in keeping everybody informed. What are you particularly proud of?
In terms of the magazine?
Yes.
Well, see, the magazine started just about 20 years ago. My father first published the magazine because we still run a printing operation in Montreal. That's our main business. And he started the magazine purely out of passion, purely out of feeling that there was a need for a beautifully done magazine for the Italian community, pure and simple. And that morphed over the years into what we have today. I've been running the magazine for the better part of the last decade. And I'm simply proud to be able to be an independent, have our team as an independent voice, and a niche magazine that caters to a very, very beautiful community. And people appreciate it. We're so lucky to receive hundreds of letters, many subscriptions. It's something that people are still interested in. They're still very, very, very interested in receiving a print magazine, something they could touch and feel, something they can put in their library and collect. There's nothing that can replace it. And that's why we double down on print. We think that especially since we're the only ones doing it on this scale. It's just something that people want, and we listen to our readership. If people didn't want it, maybe we wouldn't be doing it anymore. But it's when you receive the kind of accolades and the kind of appreciation that we do, it gives us fuel to do it, even amidst this very challenging time for for publishing in general.
Adam, thank you so much for being with us today.